waves crashing loud, a steady beat. Palms swaying left, swaying right. Endless blue from day to night. Side bend call and feel the breeze. Taste the ocean, salty seas. Side bend calling, hearts collide. Paradise where dreams reside. Oh. Barbecue, smoke fills the air. Street stalls glow without a care. Red rice served with love so true. Callaghan shining in the view. Drums pounding in the distance. Dance ignites the night's persistence. Side pan calling, feel the breeze. Taste the ocean, salty seas. Side pan calling, hearts collide. Paradise where dreams reside. Photo cans, they rise, they fall. History carved in every wall. Timid whispers, ancient lore. Side pan soul Saipan calling, feel the breeze. Taste the ocean, salty seas. Saipan calling, hearts collide. Paradise where dreams reside. Saipan calling, feel the breeze. Taste the ocean, salty seas. Saipan calling, hearts collide. Paradise where dreams reside. Oh, where dreams reside. Oh.
AP News, I'm Ed Donahue. In court in Los Angeles, Nick Reiner pleaded not guilty to the stabbing deaths of his parents, actor and director Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner, in December. No motive has been given. LA County District Attorney Nathan Hochman was asked about the possibility of the death penalty.
We take the process in which we determine whether or not the death penalty should be sought extremely seriously, and it goes through a very rigorous process. We will be looking at all aggravating and mitigating circumstances.
Reiner appeared in court with a shaved head and light facial hair, wearing brown jail clothes. Today is a blizzard day along the East Coast.
New York remains in a state of emergency.
Mayor Zohran Mamdani says a travel ban has been lifted in New York, but is urging people to stay off the roads.
Parts of Staten Island are being hit hardest by this winter storm. In addition to existing efforts, DSNY is deploying 65 further pieces of equipment to Staten Island, and the NYPD Tow Truck Task Force is now operating especially heavily in the borough to free stuck vehicles, which include MTA buses.
Snow fell at a rate of 2 to 3 inches an hour early today from New York through Massachusetts. More than 5,000 flights in and out of the country have been canceled today, according to FlightAware. The most canceled in New York, New Jersey, and Boston. Authorities are investigating a shooting near the country's northern border in New Hampshire. A person is accused of firing a gun at a Border Patrol agent who returned fire and struck the subject. The FBI says it happened early yesterday in Pittsburgh, New Hampshire, and the person is now receiving medical attention at a nearby hospital. An estimated 31,000 registered nurses and other frontline Kaiser Permanente healthcare workers will return tomorrow after a 4-week strike in California and Hawaii. The union says significant progress was made on a new contract.
Stocks are sharply higher at the closing bell on Wall Street. More information at apnews.com. This is AP News.
Denis Maximov's bakery in suburban Moscow became famous overnight after he appeared on President Vladimir Putin's annual call-in show in December. Now business is tough.
Maximov had pleaded with Putin via video to look into new tax reforms. He said, while looking ahead with optimism, frankly speaking, many businesses will close down. And now the Kremlin is tapping consumers and small businesses for funds more than ever. Last week, Maximov told the AP he was just surviving. He says the increased pressure is significant. That's no secret. It hasn't been easy, but we've managed to accumulate the necessary funds, transfer them, and are looking ahead normally for now. As Putin's so-called special military operation in Ukraine marks 4 years, the mounting pressure on Russia's economy is starting to show. Oil revenues are dwindling, the budget deficit is up, and military spending that fueled robust growth has levelled off. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care. Are you or someone you know living with a mental illness? Have you experienced abuse or neglect, denial of services, or discrimination because of a mental illness or disability? You have rights. NMPOSSE is the Northern Marianas Protection and Advocacy Systems Incorporated, and we're here for you. Individuals diagnosed with mental illness have human, civil, and legal rights under federal and local law. No one should be mistreated, denied services, or discriminated against because of a disability. NMPOSSE's PIME program provides protection and advocacy for individuals with mental illness and provides information about your rights, advocacy and assistance for eligible individuals, and support in cases involving abuse, neglect, or discrimination. Services are confidential and provided at no cost to eligible individuals. To learn more, call NMPOSSE today at 670-235-7273 or 7274 or email gborja@nmposse.org.
As the day unfolds with laughter and cheer, Brad's got the magic that brings us all near. Sharing tales of hope, dreams that shine bright. Good morning, Marianas, together we ignite. So join the palm trees, we dance through the days. Rhythm and soul in so many ways. Together we rise through the moments we share. Good morning, Marianas, feel the love everywhere. Wake up to the sunshine in the morning light. Good vibes all around, everything feels right. Brad on the show, bringing joy to our day. Into the Marianas breeze, let the worries drift away. Yeah, that was the air. Connection grows stronger. We show that we care. Rock on to feel the soulful flow. Look right on in Mariana, that's where you belong. The sweet island breeze and the ocean's embrace. Brad's got the stories, sunlight repays. Some signs better tinted, fall in this ride. Yeah, that we're shining with love as our guide. So raise your voices high, let the music play on. Good morning, Marianas, we're where you belong.
Nina's Kitchen, so delicious. I need a burger and a soda with it. It tastes so great, got me so addicted.
Good morning, Marianas. It's 7:45. It's Taco Tuesday here on Good Morning Marianas. 7:45 in the morning. We are only a couple of minutes later than we normally would be. Had to take the kids off to school today. Just had to do it. And my goodness, the stuff flying around and all the message boards and everything today, we have it made. You can hear the Ina's Kitchen rocking in the background because we went there for lunch yesterday. What
a treat to get that chicken teriyaki yesterday with the kimchi and the mac split. They're like, oh, you don't want any rice? I'm like, no, that's going to be perfect, just like that. And it was. And the hardest thing for me was trying to be able to not eat all of it on the way home. I know I had the fingers. I'm like, I'm hungry. What can I say? I want to eat there. It's so good. All right. Well, anyway, good morning, everybody. We have a beautiful day right now. You can't beat it at all. It's so much better than all that rain that we had not too long ago. But we're not out of the woods yet. It is 80 degrees currently here in Saipan. Humidity is so nice and low. It's great. It feels so cool outside. I don't mean like, hey, dude, that's cool. No, I mean like it's temperately cool. 74% humidity up there at the Saipan International Airport. You could almost put a wind chill on it. It felt like a nice, cool, like spring morning, like in the mainland in the Northeast. Just crisp air. Just absolutely love it. We're looking at a high surf advisory all the way until 5 p.m. tomorrow. Rip current statements as well, so be careful. Also got a coastal flood statement in effect all the way till tomorrow morning. And boy, I'll tell you what, later today we're going to get the regional weather outlook from National Weather Service. But my goodness, be careful if you're going to be out there on the water. It has been a little nasty, a lot of runoff going through. Today we're looking at scattered showers and thunderstorms before noon. Partly sunny skies with a high near 84. It is windy out there. Regular wind 16 to 21 miles per hour. We got gusts as high as 29. Can you believe it? Yes, 30% chance of rain, and that goes up to 40% tonight. And the wind picks up as the night goes on too. We're going to get more of this tomorrow. Guess what? Wind's getting even stronger tomorrow morning. So that's going to happen. And tomorrow night, it's going to continue to build up. And I don't know what to tell you, folks. You're just going to have to enjoy some big waves coming through and some big winds coming through. Here, I'll show you real quick. I'll let you get a look at what that actually looks like right now. It's the, we're going to do that one. TV, Kapow. And just give me one second. I want to show you guys exactly what it looks like out there right now. And that's it. This is not the National Weather Service, but we're going to hear from them tomorrow. Don't worry, no winter weather and snowflakes for us. In the mainland, it's a little crazy. But we are this little group in the middle, and that is what's coming our way. All this wind and rain making its way to the Marianas, and we're going to hear more about it again later this afternoon when we hear it from Landon and the good folks over there at the National Weather Service today with the regional weather outlook. And then Landon will be on the show with us again tomorrow, like every Wednesday. That's just how it works out here. Well, speaking of working out here, you're trying to get to work and school's back in. So we got to let you know what it's going to be like out there on the mean streets of Saipan. It is a little bit rough out there. Actually, it was probably one of the easiest drives in that I've had in some time, so I'm not complaining about it at all. But we are going to get you guys what it looks like right now. Where is it? There we go. We are going to get you guys that first look at traffic here in Saipan as soon. Oh, duh. You know, sometimes you think you got this stuff. Anyway, let's take a look. Let's get down there on the roads and see exactly what's coming our way for traffic here in Saipan. It's actually pretty moderate. All the hot spots are still hot spots. It's not that bad. Let's zoom in real quick over there by Guangdong or by Shell Dandan, where there's always a bunch of cars. Today's actually still pretty light over around this time right now, so don't feel too bad. Just folks over there at the intersection. Same goes over there by the college. Not too bad. How about the intersection that matters? It's the place where connection matters. IT&E's intersection over at the CMG and Middle Road looking pretty good. Let's head south. Look out for Mount Carmel for God and Saipan. That looks pretty good. But over there in Chalampiao, my goodness, over there by Subway, the mobile station, there's nothing but traffic everywhere. And it's all school bus related and Hopwood's over there. So not a fun go. Guangdong Hardware not looking all that great this morning either. But let's make our way up around the backside of Saipan. Everything looks pretty good. A little bit of traffic coming up the hill over there by Ina's Kitchen. Is it so delicious? Oh, Jordan thinks so. All right. Well, anyway, Let's go through Puerto Rico, and this is where it starts to get a little bit more fun, folks. People trying to head north as they make their way toward the Marianas Heights building going to have a little bit of a backup, a little bit of congestion, but not too bad. Orchid Street, over there by Garapan Elementary School, home of the Mallards, looking okay, but over there when it turns into Corporal Darren's Jack, that's where it takes a little bit of a slower turn. Also going to have some traffic over there by JG Sablon Ice and Water, and over there by the museum. We're looking for more traffic by the courthouse, and we got it. Look at that, how lucky we are. All right, that double-barrel look going all the way down, passing by Quartermaster. Everything's looking pretty good. Just a little bit of your run-of-the-mill intersection traffic. But that intersection traffic would be so much more comfortable if you were just sit back and relaxing in your fancy new Camry, or your Corolla, or your Tacoma, or your Tundra. Maybe it's a Lexus, who knows? But they got all kinds of things over there at Atkins Kroll. The only thing they don't have is you, but you could fix that yourself. They're gonna help you out with some down payment assistance and some really great low monthly payments, but you gotta give them a call and check it out so you can experience all the goodness over there at Atkins Kroll. We've got headlines and more coming up right after this.
Hey, bro, can I grab your bush?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Right on. Thanks, bro. Hey, bro, can I grab your bush too?
Sure, bro. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Now I can grab my own bush. Saipan, it's time to grab your bush. Pick up a 12-pack of ice-cold bush, and you're in for more than just a refreshing beer. Every 12-pack gives you a chance to win exclusive bush gear and more. So don't wait. Swing by your favorite store, grab your bush, and join the fun. Because here in Saipan, the best moments are even better with Bush. Grab your bush today.
If you think girls and women's equality matter, stand up. If girls and women's sports matter, and you want your daughters to have the same opportunity you had, stand up. If you know that it isn't fair or safe to allow males to compete in girls' sports, because it's, well, obvious, stand up. Don't be cowed by people who call you a bigot. You're not a bigot. Don't let men tell us how to be good girls. Don't let others tell you you just need to be quiet. Sit down. Be nice. It's not nice to further a lie. It's not mean to believe in women's equality. We deserve our own sports, privacy, fairness, safety. We deserve a chance to compete and win. So don't be nice. Don't be careful. Be honest. Be brave. Fight for women. We've come too far to give up now.
And if you agree with that, stand up and stand with us.
Good morning, Marianas. Welcome back. 7:55 in the morning, and again, it's a beautiful day outside. 80 degrees up there at Saipan International Airport, and that low humidity is making it feel just so nice out here. It's unseasonably awesome out here in February, and we could only hope that it would stick around a little bit longer. Again, we're going to have some interesting weather today. Again, partly sunny skies, high near 84 today, and it's going to be windy. Gusts as high as 28 miles per hour, 30% chance of rain. That is how we roll today. Speaking of rolling, heads were rolling across the Marianas the last couple of days, and we have seen this from folks all over in the comment sections, things that were posted everywhere. Everybody's WhatsApp group being blown up all over the place, and it is not an easy conversation for some of us. You know, you're walking that line about you got to be supportive of your friends and all those other folks, and you got some other folks who jump in and might not be on board for what you're thinking. But you know, you lose your administrator for the grants. The whole grants management office, then you also lose your commissioner of police. And I'll tell you, the outpouring of support for, at least for Commissioner Marianas, has been pretty massive. But I don't know how much of it is for folks inside the force as it was for folks outside the force. I think there's going to be all kinds of stuff about this, all kinds of fallout from it. But we've already got some messages from some folks who have been reaching out to the administration as they're on their way back from Hawaii. And apparently, not everybody was in the loop for some of these changes. These changes happened pretty quick. And one of them, we won't talk about all the rumors, but we heard specific rumor about why somebody didn't approve somebody's overtime. And that was one of the reasons. So all that politics stuff. So that is a really interesting thing. If you've got some of that tea, you want to share it, you can. We're not going to be telling anybody who you are or anything. I promise you that. But I can tell you that we're looking forward to hitting up the governor when he gets back and back into the office, so we can talk to him and hear from him. Say that's the one question when we were chatting up. The LT, the acting governor, asked him every single question about it. He said, don't worry, we're going to get a statement out. We're going to get a statement out. We didn't get a statement from the office yesterday. There wasn't anything posted yesterday either, so we were hoping to actually hear something. But the lieutenant governor was in a hurry on his way out of here from the public proclamation signing over at the multi-purpose yesterday. We went there right after we got out of the court. And that's going to be, by the way, what we're going to be talking about next. But, you know, we asked him just a couple of questions to hear what he had to say about the whole thing. What did you have on the, could you give us something more now that the letter's been issued? Because we reached out over the weekend and said, hey, we heard this is happening. No, if it's true, you're going to know. And so that's what we were, thinking that we were going to hear. But we ended up just not getting it. We ended up not getting any clarification about it. And, normally when there's a personnel move, you're not going to hear a whole lot about like the specifics, right? But when somebody's been a part of an organization for as many years and, their records, pretty much untarnished throughout that whole time, you think that you're going to get something when you remove somebody from public service like that, especially somebody who's not even taking a salary. And so we hoped to hear a little bit yesterday when we were at the proclamation signing, but we didn't. So if you didn't see it yesterday, we're going to play it for you here. At least I thought we were going to play it for you here. Is that just a screenshot? It is just a screenshot that I didn't even activate the actual movie file. But that's it. We want to show you the real quick snap interview that we ended up doing. Oh, you know what? That's why, because it was in the download with the lieutenant governor yesterday. And again, it was more of, hey, what's going on? Can you give us an update on what happened? Here, we're going to have this for you here. We put it on the old big screen for you. And that's it. So here we go. This was right after the proclamation signing. Don't mind the crazy camera work there as we're jumping to try to get up there. You're going to they're actually going to have a quick photo op. Everybody's there. A nice photo op for Invasive Species Week.
Okay, everybody ready? Look here. 1, 2, 3. One more.
Look at all those smiley faces.
1, 2, 3.
I'm good. I'm shooting video. Let's get your.
And that was
photos are gonna
Ethan
be better
Kwan
than
over there to the right. We'll have this update for sure. And then here we go.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Just in case you missed it yesterday. Just real brief.
Acting Governor.
How are you?
All right, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hey, a couple questions for you. Yeah, we just got the letter, the confirmation for dismissing Commissioner Marianas.
That one.
Can you give us an idea of what the reasoning was?
I'll be issuing a statement in a few, not right now. I got to go back to the office and make sure I address this and give a formal statement on it. So, not on the fly.
Did you name anyone acting in his?
Director Gomoro is currently acting. So, I mean, he was acting last week. We just kind of continued his acting show. So, yeah. So I'll be issuing a statement on that.
Hey, you posted about Administrator Cabrera as well.
Sure.
Can you give us anything a little bit more about what
I'll
was
be
going on?
issuing a statement today, later on this afternoon. So, thank you.
Is there anybody else that you're looking at?
No,
Any
no,
other-
not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, and then we followed him outside a little bit on that one, and then, but you know, when we had that conversation, we thought we were going to hear more about it. But the big question that I didn't ask, and I should have, I just had one more question I didn't ask out there, so that's on me. Was when you're acting as the governor, do you coordinate this stuff through the governor's office first? Like, is the governor aware of these kind of changes, or when you are acting governor? I'm sure that you have all the power that you're able to do everything, but I was just going to ask it, and I didn't. Darn it. I'll make sure I ask, that will be the follow-up question. Do you coordinate these things with the governor first? Or do you send him a message to say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let go one of the people you appointed. You know, like that is the question I've got. So I heard a couple of things, and again, I'm not going to get into every rumor, but like one was that, and it could be many things, again, and when you don't receive any of the feedback like they said they were going to provide, then, you know, that's where all that kind of stuff happens. So, and that's where I was asking him, like, hey, so what actually did happen? Well, we didn't hear anything, but then all these little things start coming out a little bit. Hey, we heard somebody put in for a $600,000 contract that wasn't awarded. So they got rid of the guy for not awarding somebody that $600,000 contract. And then the other one was, well, we heard that somebody else wouldn't sign the overtime for a couple of folks because of like a late night session that they were trying to get overtime for. So, you know, we'll wait and find out when we get that final official statement from the office that they said they were going to give us yesterday. And we look forward to getting it today. And believe me, I was burning up the phone lines, all the contact information, the official channels from the governor's office. And, you know, we just didn't get anything. They did ask us for the photos that we posted from the governor in D.C., where we showed the photos of him with Kristi Noem, but we didn't get anything back. Now, that was another thing. So one of the other messages that came in is that it made it seem as if the governor was not in the loop with these changes that happened while he was gone. And so what happens in that situation? What do you do? You know, maybe it's an interesting day at the office. Is the genie already out of the bottle? Like, is there would you go back and undo those things? And if that does happen, you know, what happens next? Would the governor still, if he goes off island again, does he appoint someone else to be the acting? Like, all those questions, you know. Now, if there's a unifying statement that comes out from the governor's office says, hey, you know, we're all in the loop, you know, things happen and then that's it, well, then that puts all that stuff to bed. But all those other things creep in. I mean, you guys are the ones who are feeding us all kinds of info. Well, and by the way, you're able to have an opinion on this stuff. You know, you should give us a call and let us know, you know, what you think about it. And let us know who you think would be a good next up. Okay, let me head into the comments real quick. So Saipan Nenny, by the way, I love your profile picture. That puppy is hilarious. All right, it says, conspiracy theory, Dave didn't want to get the heat for the things and asked Dennis to do it for a favor. Well, that would be, I don't know, the governor's not running again for anything. He said that, we interviewed him before, and he said that after this term, he's done with politics. So I would think that maybe he wouldn't do that, and he wouldn't throw that on a young guy who's got other aspirations to do other things. So that's a tough one. Yep, Tobat is out there saying, hey, there's still no official statement about the removals. That's correct. Richard Lazama says, Brad, hey, oh, okay, you guys were just chiming in earlier in the show. But yeah, that's it. So we're still waiting for the official stuff to come down today, and we're going to hit them back up as well. And if we don't hear about it, we're just gonna have to go up there. And I don't mind doing that, but there's other stuff for us to do here. We've also got a big show tonight. Also, SIP Happens is going to be happening. PK will be in here with Rowena Ogo and Annalie Villagomez Pueshafa, and I can't wait to have them in here tonight. So we got a busy day. So we're going to wait and see how this stuff happens. Ray Borja says, people shouldn't have to beg for statements. No official statements lead to assumptions. Oh, I agree. I agree with that. I completely agree with it. And I definitely think, one of the comments, we saw yesterday, like, oh, it looks like you caught him off guard. Oh, yeah, probably. But you could see that, he was ready to go. And I don't know what else they had going on yesterday. The acting governor has stuff to do. It's not just sign a proclamation, then kick your feet up on the desk. I mean, you're running the Commonwealth. There's a lot of stuff going on. So he was in a hurry to get out of there. So I'm glad that we got a couple of questions while we were there. But find out what else is happening. Chris Tomakane, I'm checking out your comments, by the way, you guys. And again, feel free to call 670-789-2323. If you're off island and you don't want to spend the long distance, you can call us on WhatsApp on that number. And it goes right to the board here, too. Chris Tomakane, my man, great to see you. He says, interesting to see if the governor had anything to do with this. Late Governor Palacios is turning in his grave. Governor Palacios got Marianas to return the Saipan from Texas to run DPS. Yeah. And he was doing it for zero salary, too. Tobat says, maybe they're going to replace CMAC with someone from GPPC. And, yeah, I'm seeing that too, Nanny. It could be all kinds of things. But now, to be fair, to be level-headed, not alarmist, not being off the rails on any of these things. There's other stuff that we just aren't familiar with, right? So that's. But when they make these kind of moves, it's not that the sky is falling down, but it's you should probably find out what's going on. If you're going to replace someone who's been there for with the service since they got out of the service, and someone who did fly back to go and do these kind of things and was taking no salary to do all that stuff and to run the department and say, we thought it was time. Was there one single incident that was to blame that says, yep, you're out today. You're done. You would think that if you were being removed for something, maybe if they thought that wasn't working out the right way, then we would say you work a way to make the person resign. Since you're the one that appointed them, you would give them the opportunity to resign right there. So, want to take a break, I need a break, something like that. Let them save face. And if you don't, you figure there is something else. And what could that something else be? By all accounts, people are, will tell you that Commissioner Marianas is a pretty honorable guy. There are folks who will say other things. In DPS, it's a big organization, but like any big organizations, you've got some kind of, you get people who click up and stuff like that. Like with CUC, CPA, PSS, DPS, they're all the same like that, right? So if there wasn't anything specific that they've got, you would think that if you're letting someone go like that, you would let them bow out a little bit. Yep. Let's see what they got. Last commissioner got away with a lot, says Nenny. Yeah. Not Clem. I don't know. That seemed pretty political to me too. Chris says, also, Optang is a retired military guy. He doesn't shy away from difficult situations, so I don't see him pawning this off. Yeah, and then he says, at least Marianas fired and charges got filed. Yeah, for the officer. But that officer actually resigned. Vince Titano says, yep, policing the island. Yeah, so I can't go crazy on it till when I hear anything. I mean, unless you know some of this stuff, right? And, having some of the conversations, not every officer thought that he was the best guy, the best thing since sliced bread, but, you're never going to get 100% on any of that stuff from anybody. But I don't want to. I'm not going to talk about what he was doing or anything like that because I don't know what he was doing. And I don't know. I've asked a few people within the force about what they thought about the whole thing, and they were honest about the way they shared and stuff like that. But either way, I think that they could have done it a little more ceremoniously if they didn't have something to get rid of him for. And that's where that one thing that came to me that said, hey, the thing that did him is that he wouldn't sign on somebody's overtime. So we haven't heard anything about it, but I'll dig a little bit deeper on that overtime thing. And it was a couple of people about denying their overtime because of the activities that they were engaged in while they were supposedly on overtime. Again, not official. That's what I heard. And if that was the reason why you let them go politically, that's a snap decision. Pow. Right? As far as Administrator Cabrera, no idea. I'm not inside that room. But I do have someone who's over there who said that, hey, I think it was a misunderstanding. And I think it was a mischaracterization of what the real situation was. So they were going to try to address it this week, and we'll see what happens with that. Chris Tomakati says, hoping to see next week's breaking news where Apatang rescinds Marianas' firing. And that's the thing, Chris, is the genie out of the bottle already? Can you put that back in? Can you undo that kind of stuff? And holy cow, will we have a busy news week if that's what happens? If that's what ends up happening, that is going to be some interesting stuff. Ryan, over there in the Philippines, mabuhay. Good to see you too. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Maya. I'm going to message you in just a little bit. That is great. That is really great, by the way. Just someone from our community, a really great person who wants to do some volunteer work to help some girls get better at sports. Super cool. And a former guest on the show. Oh, come on. Sorry, just one moment. What's the vehicle? I'm trying to make out that. Yeah, thanks for sending this to me. Hey, Don J. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad you're welcome. It's a lot of fun. It's like we should call it sipping tea with BRAD. That's what it feels like today with all this stuff, because we're just literally going over these kind of things. But I do want to talk about what's going on with the officer involved in this case because, it's a food vendor. I can't believe it. All right. Sorry, it's like you're watching me be a squirrel looking for the shiny object. Got messages coming in about one of the other things I'm really passionate about, and that's people who park in the accessible parking stalls. And what is that? It commonly is the handicap parking. It's not officially the way you call it. They're called accessible parking spaces, right? The blue spots with the little wheelchair painted on it. Yeah. Don't park in there if you don't have a placard, if you're not able to do it. And if you're borrowing mom's car, mom's not in the car with you, and you're just using it to get a cool spot, well, don't be that guy too, because that sucks for someone who actually needs it. Well, I want to start really making that a big deal for people. Someone just sent me a picture of a food vendor who parked half in, half out of one. Still can't use that spot as they're dishing out food. All right, let's get back to it though. We're going to talk about also Chris, you're right. CNMI's national sports politics. Gun. But again, getting back to this, the other thing with DPS is going to be this court case with Earl Borja that we went to yesterday. And we're going to get it, but we're going to take a real quick break. We'll be right back.
Shiny smiles all around where happiness is found. It's the little things that make it true. Shiny smiles start with
They're friends and neighbors, sons, fathers. They're little league coaches and veterans. They're people who love this country. These are Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers. They are removing violent criminals from our streets and neighborhoods. It's dangerous and difficult work. But ICE has one mission: to make America a safer place to live. And that's what they're doing. This is law enforcement. This is ICE.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. In Mexico, authorities now say at least 73 people died in the government's attempt to capture the leader of a notorious cartel known for trafficking fentanyl, methamphetamine, and cocaine to the U.S. and for staging brazen attacks against Mexican government officials. Megan Janetsky has more.
We're here just outside of the Mexican state of Jalisco's capital, Guadalajara, which was marked by a surge of violence following the capture of one of the most feared cartel leaders in the country. The Cartel de Jalisco Nueva Generación responded violently and burned buses and other vehicles, blockading roads and bringing the state and many other Mexican states to a standstill. This capture was part of larger efforts by the government of Claudia Sheinbaum to crack down on cartels and effectively offset pressures by the Trump administration.
British police have arrested Peter Mandelson, a former UK ambassador to the U.S., in a misconduct probe stemming from his ties with Jeffrey Epstein. The investigation centers on documents that suggest Mandelson passed sensitive government information to Epstein. He's not facing allegations of sexual misconduct. Ed Donahue reports Nick Reiner pleaded not guilty in a Los Angeles court today.
He's charged with the stabbing deaths of his parents, director and actor Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner, in December.
Yes, for the record, Your Honor, the people have turned over to the defense the larger bulk of discovery. We are still awaiting word from the coroner's office that they've completed the autopsy report. As soon as we get it, we will turn it over from the defense, as well as any other discovery that comes in.
Police have said nothing about possible motives. Prosecutors have not decided whether to seek the death penalty. I'm Ed Donahue.
A down day for stocks amid renewed concern over President Trump's tariffs. The Dow plunged 821 points, or 1.7%. The S&P sank 1%, the Nasdaq 1.1%. On Saturday, Trump said he was boosting his new tariffs to 15%. This is AP News. The Northeast hit by a blizzard. Julie Walker's been out in it.
Here in New York City, snowplows try to keep up the Northeast, dealing with a nor'easter. Blizzard warnings up and down the East Coast. National Weather Service meteorologist Kevin Kadima.
This is quite a nor'easter. I mean, on a scale that we don't see very often around these parts, and we certainly are no strangers to nor'easters.
Some parts of New York City got more than a foot of snow. Residents like Trey Story trying to keep up with the shoveling.
The snow is wet and heavy. I'm out of breath. I might have broken a sweat.
Matthew Wykowiak also out shoveling.
People need to adjust, but that's what New Yorkers do.
Also dealing with the snow and more than 2 feet of it in some areas. Residents in New Jersey, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. And that snow causing school closures, power outages, travel delays, airline cancellations, and all kinds of other weather-related issues. Julie Walker, New York.
There's more news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
Are you or someone you know living with a mental illness? Have you experienced abuse or neglect, denial of services, or discrimination because of a mental illness or disability? You have rights. NM Posse is the Northern Marianas Protection and Advocacy Systems Incorporated, and we're here for you. Individuals diagnosed with mental illness have human, civil, and legal rights under federal and local law. No one should be mistreated, denied services, or discriminated against because of a disability. NM Posse's PIME program provides protection and advocacy for individuals with mental illness, and provides information about your rights, advocacy and assistance for eligible individuals, and support in cases involving abuse, neglect, or discrimination. Services are confidential and provided at no cost to eligible individuals. To learn more, call NM Posse today at 670-235-7273 or 7274, or email gborja@nmposse.org.
Waves crash hard, the shore don't break. Roots go deep, no storm can take. This land of ours where hearts ignite. Saipan stands holding tight. Tinian whispers, winds that heal. Roar rises, forged in steel. Island strong, we carry on. Through the dark, we find the door. Hold the line, we sing our song. Saipan, Tinian, Rota, Island strong.
All right, welcome back, Marianas. It's 8:24 in the morning here on Taco Tuesday. It is Taco Tuesday, and you can enjoy all of that goodness over at Godfather's Bar in Garapan. Great deals and great smiles, and just great to see everybody when you get down there. By the way, while you are thinking about Lent, which instead of tacos, but if you're thinking about Lent, the Lent season specials are available today at Great Harvest. Just down the road from us is one of our favorite places to go. They're fast with flavor, but you can fast with flavor. I see what I did there. This Lenten season over at Great Harvest Restaurant, you can enjoy their fresh and delicious options from their hearty sandwiches, crisp salads, and flavorful wraps. Easy for me to say. You can have some perfect Lenten meals made fresh daily with quality ingredients that you can trust. Call them today for more information, 234-2733. And they've got platters available with special items. Only at Great Harvest Bread Company, Saipan, serving goodness in every bite. Again, that's 234-2733. Great Harvest can make Lent great for you. True story. All right. It says, Nenny's in there in the comments saying, fun idea for AI music. Have it say a recipe for local food. Ooh, you know, it could be like the new 80s version of the McDonald's commercial that to all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. You remember that? Deep cut for all you old guys. Ann says, remember when Shirley's charged $1 for eggs? Man, breakfast tastes so much better today. It better taste better if you're going to be spending that much over there. Hey, good morning, Kels Thomas. Great to see you too. And, all you guys, if you're watching from off island or you're watching from here, if you want to give us a call, you can. The phone number is 670-789-2323, 670-789-2323. That's the number. If you want to call us on WhatsApp, you could do that too. You can send us messages on WhatsApp as well. We are here for you to talk about all this stuff. Speaking of all this stuff, I want to get into talking about this stuff that happened in court yesterday. We were over there yesterday after we saw that he was arrested on Friday. And now he is still, unless he spent $20,000 in cash yesterday, but Earl Borja, former DPS officer, is still in custody. At least that's what we believe it to be the case, because I mean that's what happens when you're not able to spring bail. They actually asked for a bail modification that was denied because they said, hey, this is a guy who is in a position of trust, and he ended up doing this stuff, and we can't have this. So the judge said, yep, instead of reducing it down to 10%, it is at $20,000. That's it, cash, plain and simple. What happened yesterday, the initial appearance was made by Janet King at a request from the family. They know that the family probably isn't going to be able to retain her services, so she was asking if she could end up taking over for be assigned by the public defender's office. Now that still could happen, but the judge said, well, you can't do it that way. That's not how the process works. You got to, hopefully, if you're going to get retained by them for it, you can. But right now, I got to assign it to the public defenders. So at least she stepped in. The family reached out, said, can you help us out? Can you do us a solid? So they ended up doing that yesterday, and hopefully we'll find out more about the change of counsel later. Now, the next appearance won't be until March 4th, and then after that will be March 9th. So it's got your official initial appearance and then the arraignment later. Now, we have all these files, but I haven't been able to make clean copies of them where I can also redact the name of the victim in this case. And so that's the only reason I didn't post it yesterday. But you've got two officers involved in this, and it appears one of the other officer who was in the vehicle with them was very cooperative and allegedly said that he wouldn't go along with the attempt to cover things up. So that's it. It all stems from this case in December, where the complainant in this got picked up, and the victim in this case, the alleged victim, was at LN Market in Chalankanoa, which is not far down the street, and he was told to leave the area and not to come back, but he came back anyway. Then two police officers came to the store. I'm reading right off of the court records right here. The officers placed handcuffs on him and put him in the vehicle. The officers then took him to Pow Pow Beach, made a turnaround, and then drove behind the former La Fiesta in San Roque. And allegedly, Officer Borja opened the door and said, hey, you want to fight? The victim said no. And then he said, well, then the officer whipped out that expandable baton and hit him in the head twice. And then he was pushing the baton upwards into the side of his head and then striking him again in his head. And then he started bleeding. It was just rushing down the side of his head. And there was blood all over. He used the shirt to wipe the blood off of him. And then they took the handcuffs off of him and let him go. And according to this, it says the officers told him they'll be back to pick him up. But when the officers left, he went into the jungle and hid, and later walked to his dad's house and told them what happened. Jeez. Yeah, but Saipan then he says, I think I know who the disabled person is. Yeah, but I'm not your parent, but I would say maybe don't put their name in the comments. That would be cool. But either way, then the father of the victim went to DPS to file this complaint. And what they ended up doing, they got the folks from the Attorney General's office started their investigation, and they started their investigation at the request of the DPS commissioner. He asked to get the Attorney General involved and to get their investigative in there because they wanted to make sure that there's no bias. There's no chance that like an officer reporting on an officer, not that you're calling anyone into question, but it's just they want to make sure that at least there even wasn't the appearance of somebody trying to cover for a fellow officer or something. So they got in. So the Attorney General's Investigative Division got in, and they received and reviewed the radio log sheet and identified the two officers, Villar and Borja. And then identified that they're the ones who responded to the LN Market call at just before 1 in the afternoon. And then they also got the surveillance footage from the market the same day and identified the driver of the vehicle as Officer Villar, who's still there with DPS, wearing a red uniform. I'm not familiar with the red uniform. And then Borja was the front passenger wearing a blue uniform. Furthermore, they also procured the GPS tracker info for the police vehicle when it occurred. And they confirmed with the GPS tracker that the vehicle went to LM Market, then the Pow Pow Beach, and then La Fiesta. And according to the radio log sheet for that day, Borja called Central at 1:36 p.m. and stated a 1019, which is a radio code for a transfer, at Pow Pow Beach per their request that he was hitting his head on the door. But according to the tracker, when he made that call to Central, they were already in Tinapag, heading south to DPS without that victim. So the investigator from the AG met with the victim, and he explained to him the story that the victim here went to LM Market in CK begging for money, right? And the police responded twice, but on the second time, it's when these two officers arrested him. They put him in handcuffs, put him in the back of the car, and he's explaining the same thing. Then they said, where would you like to be dropped off? He said Cagman. And then they asked if they could take him to his home instead. The officers drove him to Pow Pow Beach, circled around, and then went to La Fiesta. And he said the officer became angry because the victim was about to get out of the car after Borja opened the door. And then Borja asked him if he wants to fight. The victim says, no, I don't want, sir. And that's where he said he got hit 3 to 4 times on the left side of the head with a 5-stage extendable baton. And then he showed him how he was wielding the baton. Then he felt pounding, blood gushing from his head while he was still handcuffed. And then they interviewed the dad of the victim. And he said he came across his son when his son was walking home, walking up the hill, leading to his house. He picked him up, and his son told him that he was assaulted by the police officer. The father saw the visible injuries, included blood and a crack on the head with red marks on the wrist from the handcuffs. So the victim was not wearing a shirt. The father took photos and brought him to the hospital for a medical check. And after that, the father drove to La Fiesta to have the son show him where he was taken and assaulted. And then they went to DPS to register the complaint. So after they reviewed the photographs of the injuries and the medical records, the chief complaint was all the stuff in the head, of course, from getting hit and blacking out temporarily, but being unable to see but remaining conscious. He described being picked up at the market, all the stuff that we just went through. And then he said he had mild nausea. Sounds like concussion, and that's what they said. They suffered head contusions, which is bruising, and abrasions. So they interviewed the other officer, Villar. He said that he did not arrest the victim when they responded to the place. But they did see him in the parking lot, and they asked him what was going on. The victim said, "Hey, I was just standing outside asking people for money." Villar went inside the store, spoke to the owner, who told him that he was bothering the customers outside and showed him surveillance footage of it from the previous day. Asked people for money and threw something at the door. So Villar went back outside and asked him, "Hey, what'd you throw at the door?" He said, "A dime," because he was mad the customer didn't give him money. All right. Villar determined he didn't have probable cause to make an arrest, so he just decided to do the 1019, which is the transport away from Ellen Market. He informed the supervisors that he was taking him north. And they confirmed with the folks that they got permission to transport him. For safety purposes, they put him in handcuffs behind his back and placed him inside the vehicle behind the driver. Villar asked him, "Where do you want to go?" And he told him, "Pow Pow." Villar asked the Vic about his house in the village. I'm skipping over here. But he asked to go to Pow Pow. So from there, Villar drove him to Pow Pow. We saw there were a lot of people there, so they turned around. So Villar said that he didn't want him to bother people there. So when they exited Pow Pow, he needed to use the restroom. So they went to La Fiesta, parked behind one of the buildings, and to use the restroom. All right. So he got out of the vehicle to use the restroom. Then Borja took Villar's flashlight that was in the middle console and saw that Borja was hitting his hand with it. Like, and Villar then took the flashlight away from Borja. When Villar got out of the vehicle, he saw Borja take his baton and just held it. Villar proceeded to the building to relieve himself. When he returned to the vehicle after about 2 minutes, he saw Officer Borja and the victim outside the vehicle on the left passenger side. When Villar got closer, Borja gave Villar his baton back and said, "I accidentally made the victim bleed." Villar told Borja, "Bro, what the fish?" Only he didn't say fish. He took his baton and went inside the vehicle. Villar stated that he panicked. Villar saw that the victim was bleeding like a bottle of water and that he saw that he was still in handcuffs, so he gave Borja the keys. Villar saw Borja rinsing the victim's head with water and using his shirt to wipe the blood off of the victim's face. Borja then took off the handcuffs and wiped him again before going inside the vehicle. When Borja got inside the vehicle, they left. Villar drove south, but turned around and went back to check on the victim, but the victim was no longer there. On the drive back to DPS Central, Borja told Villar to stick to the story that they dropped him off at Pow Pow. That Borja was the one who uncuffed him, and the victim pushed him and told him, "F you," and ran off. Borja then called Central and heard him tell Central that the Vic was hitting his head on the window. During the drive, Borja told Villar repeatedly, "Just stick to the story." Following the incident, Borja contacted Villar throughout the week, telling Villar to stick to the story. The investigation continues. The following day, the day after this happened, Villar told one of his co-workers that he didn't know exactly what happened because he walked away, but Earl did something terrible. That's in quotes. Said the same week, Villar also confided in former police officer Chris De Leon Guerrero and police officer Jess De Leon Guerrero, who are members of the CNMI Professional Police Union. Villar told them what happened with Borja and the victim. They both advised him to be truthful and report it. Great stuff. According to Villar, he panicked and got scared. It was the first time they experienced something of that nature and he didn't know what to do. Villar surrendered the baton, flashlight, and handcuffs that were used as evidence. This was the following day. Hey, that's a human reaction. What the heck do I do? This is not my thing. Crap. You want to be the person in the movie who knows right away, who does it, reports at that instant, and all that other stuff. This guy did this the very next day after talking to some important folks that he looked up to, and they advised him, do the right thing. What does he do? He does the right thing. All right, so here we go. The investigation continues. Now they interview Borja, and they read him his constitutional rights, which he acknowledged and waived in writing by signing the waiver. So Borja narrated the same facts as the victim and Villar regarding what happened at LM Market. During the transport north, Borja asked Villar about dropping the victim to his house where they know where he lived. At Pow Pow, they turned around due to all the people that were present. Villar said he needed to use the restroom, so they drove behind La Fiesta. This is from Borja. Borja stated that he punched the victim, with his knuckles once or twice, with a downward punch. And after, the victim bumped or shoulder shoved him while he was uncuffing him. Then Borja pinned him to the car. Then the victim was hitting his head on the door frame, so he made the victim sit on the ground by the tire. After further questions, Borja admitted that the Vic was still handcuffed when he hit him, or when he sit him on the ground. And Borja denied using the baton and did not recall handing the baton back to Villar, saying that he accidentally made Brett bleed. Borja then called Central by phone and reported that the victim was hitting his head and that they dropped him at the Pow Pow branch exit. Based on all that, your investigator decided that there was probable cause to submit the charges of assault with a dangerous weapon, assault and battery, and misconduct in public office. And so that's what ended up happening. That's the argument. Those are the charging files from the Commonwealth. And so that's why he's being held on $20,000 cash bail. And let's tell you where we go next. These are the same things, right? Yeah. So March 4th at 10 o'clock is going to be the preliminary hearing. And then the arraignment is going to be on March 9th at 9 o'clock. And so there you go. That's the latest. Yeah, so this is why this is one reason why it's not easy being a police officer. Why I don't think I could do it. I would want to be the nice guy police officer. You can't be the nice guy police officer. Yeah, I see you, Caleb. I see you. Because you, as a police officer, have to be able to use the experiences that you gain on the job to help guide you in different situations. But somehow you have to cut out the negative engagements you have with other folks to come in kind of fresh. You can't come in with frustration from the last time you dealt with that guy. You still have to treat him kind of in an emotional vacuum that other stuff can't affect. You still got to treat people with respect anyway, no matter what job you have, no matter what you do in life and all that stuff. But as a police officer, again, all that negativity that you're going to be around dealing with the same people over and over and over again. Hey, you're a parent. How many times you got to tell your kids something? And does that wear on you over time? I get it. But that's why being a police officer is different. That's why it's such a position of respect and admiration for those who can successfully separate the experience that they've gained in all those situations from the emotional baggage that comes along with all those previous engagements also. It is an incredibly challenging task to do that. I'm just checking you guys in the comments, by the way. So it's not an easy job, but this is not acceptable for anybody. And, you know, we saw the former officers' family come in. That sucks for them, you know, to see your son in this kind of a situation too, right? I mean, he resigned from the job. Now he's going through all this other stuff. His parents didn't do it, right? Not easy. And family members, you know, beyond then, just sucks to see someone like that. And when people do things like this, you don't consider that stuff. I can't imagine that was stuff that was on his mind when all this stuff happens. Yeah, that's tough. That's really tough. I know the victim in this story. I don't know him well. I've encountered him before. And yep, he is someone who has a mental disability, for sure. He's sweet as pie to me when I met him. But I haven't interacted with him all the time and all that other stuff. He just seemed like a nice guy who's a little bit slow. Yeah. So it is difficult to see it. And could you imagine now that your son was the victim in this thing? And what would you do? Your adult son. Suffering at the hands of the very people who take an oath to protect and serve the Commonwealth. It's tough. Now, I would say this action here by the former officer is not reflective of the men and women in the uniform for DPS at all. But, oh boy, that's a tough one. It's a tough pill. Yeah, Ann. That's right. Well, hey, you guys are all right in the comments. You guys, if you want to call, you can, by the way, if you want to share anything about any of this. It's 789-2323, 670-789-2323. And you can WhatsApp call. You can send us a WhatsApp message. You can text us at that number and everything. Go for it. But all that stuff is to say, still, that's what's presented by the Commonwealth. And everybody is innocent until proven guilty. The Commonwealth doesn't win all their cases. If they did, I mean, they wouldn't have the need to do these cases. So we haven't heard anything from the former officer yet, but we will. But there you go. Hey, it's okay. You don't have to make the phone call. Don't worry about social anxiety. You don't have to worry about that at all. It's just one of those things. You're able to do it. Yeah, Chris, dignity and integrity. Well, I'll tell you what, though. The guy who's still there sounds like he did the right thing. He still he had to hit a beat, though, and say, shit. What would you guys do? This is what you do. All right. So he did it. He turned in everything as evidence. He reported it and all that other stuff. And that's fine. I just put that out there so that you guys can't call. In case something ever happens with your thumbs. or at your desktop. So, hey, by the way, if nothing else, I could see a couple of you guys talking about this in the comments, and I know that you're getting my message a couple minutes late as you guys go back and forth. And what I would say about this stuff is that if anything else, a side issue on this is the lack of real treatment options or care options for folks that do have mental disabilities here in the CNMI. Because you see them all over. I'm not saying they're them, right? Not everybody who suffers from some sort of a mental illness, not everybody gets lumped together. That's not all the same. Everybody's got their own thing going on. But you see them all over the place. There's a lot of ones, and they've all got different issues. Some of them are mental. Some of those are drug folks. Some of those are people who should be on medication that aren't. There's all kinds of things. But we don't have one unified way to deal with these things. What we have is DPS that's called to handle everything. It's like calling mom to fix it, whatever it is, right? That's what it is. That's a bigger issue that this one won't help. But I understand from both of your perspectives out there, a family member who's speaking out of love from one of their family members, and then a member of the community who's frustrated by what they see also. I'd say you're both right, and you're both legitimate in the way you think about all that stuff. Your concerns and your thoughts are valid. They are. But quite frankly, we just don't have a facility that can really adequately address some of those things and equipped with the personnel. We do. Yeah, you're right. It says we need a facility for people with special needs as an adult with no family to take care of them. Absolutely. Yeah. And this right now today isn't going to be the platform where I was going to talk. I could talk more about this because I have some thoughts about that too. But for this, I think I'll leave this part at that. AJ is saying, hey, was there a new development in this one? Just the details that came out. AJ, RJ, backslashing 4th to 5th. Great name. The details of the case are like of what's alleged by the government. That's the stuff that is available now. After the arrest on Friday, keep them in, and they do that on purpose, by the way. You arrest a guy 4:30 or so in the afternoon on a Friday. There's no way you're going to get in front of a judge over the weekend. So you're going to spend the weekend in jail, and then you get in front of the judge. You get assigned indigent if you're going to get a public defender, or you'll have an attorney there with you. It's not the part where you make the pleas or anything. It's like, hey, this is what you're in for. This is what's going on. Let's get all the info. Let's establish this stuff. Let's talk about bail real quick. It's a bail hearing, and then we go from there. And so that's why the 4th will be the next day that we see him in court for his initial appearance, and then on the 9th for his arraignment. And that's where they will start getting into the meat of the case. But this is what they call the Rule 5, where they get all the information out. And it was tough. Yeah. Oh, Chris. All right, Chris has a good question. He said, what's the 411 on the GOP primary? Thank you. That is exactly what we can get to. But I'll tell you what, we'll take a real quick break. We have to. Let me just see if I got a sports break. How about that? We'll do a real quick sports break so we can kind of cleanse the palate, and then we'll get into that. All right? GOP update right after this.
Fox Sports Update.
For the very first time since the 1980 Miracle on Ice, the U.S. wins an Olympic gold medal in men's hockey. It was a special game. Jack Hughes scored the 3-on-3 overtime winner, helping beat the Canadian team 2-1. Matt Boldy had the opening goal for the U.S. Cale Makar scored the lone goal for Team Canada. Again, 46 years in the making. Lots of hoops to get to. We'll start on the college level where 15th-ranked Michigan State hosted rival Ohio State.
Michigan State just a little bit too much here at the end of the day.
How about Cooper? A new career high, 20 points. Tom Izzo with the win, number 501 in the Breslin Center.
That's CBS television on the call. The Spartans hang on to win 66-60 again in a very important Big Ten matchup. Meanwhile, the NBA also with a good one. Oklahoma City Thunder.
This is Ainsley Earhart. Thank you for joining me for the 52-episode podcast series, The Life of Jesus.
A listening experience that will provide hope, comfort, and understanding of the greatest story ever told. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Playing host to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Ellis gets it to Mitchell. His three won't go. Holmgren the rebound, and that will do it. The Thunder snap the Cavs' 7-game winning streak. 121-113 the final in OKC.
ABC television on the call as OKC knocks off Cleveland. Meanwhile, Dylan Brooks of the Phoenix Suns suffered a broken left hand. It's going to cost him an extended period of time. Big blow there to Phoenix. NFL news, the Cowboys have given running back Javonte Williams, who had an excellent 2025. He gets a 3-year contract extension. He gets a total of $24 million, $16 million guaranteed. And sad news, former Purdue star and NFL wide receiver Rondale Moore died on Saturday at the age of 25. It's Game On with the Fox Sports app, available wherever you download apps. I'm Jay Berman.
Get more on the Fox Sports app and foxsports.com.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at NMICrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Golden sands under my feet, waves crashing loud, a steady beat, palms swaying left, swaying right, endless blue from day to night. Siren calling, feel the breeze, taste the ocean, salty seas. Siren calling, hearts collide, paradise where dreams reside.
All right, welcome back, Marianas. It is 9 o'clock here on Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. I don't know what you got going on after work, but you might want to get over there to happy hour over at Godfather's Bar in Saipan. My God, those tacos just hit right after work, especially with a nice, cool beverage. It's tough for me because I can't, aside from the little cheat code that I found out about Lent on Sundays, woohoo, money. But the beverages are on hold for me until Lent is done. Anyway, it is great to see you guys, and great to see you guys in the comments. Fabian Indalecio in the house. Great to see you. Hafatalusi Fabian. Great to see you. Also, Nick, man, I'll tell you what, Nick, I had to Google what you were talking about. I had never heard the term mobbing, and I thought maybe there was something bad to it. But it turns out it's not. It is bad, but it's not as awful as I thought it might be. So mobbing, according to the interwebs, mobbing is a form of persistent, long-term psychological harassment or bullying in the workplace, where a group of people or a supervisor systematically bullies, ostracizes, or undermines an individual and aims to humiliate the target and force them out of their position through social isolation, spreading rumors, or sabotage, often leading to severe health impacts. I had never heard about that before today. Is that illegal? Well, it sounds like harassment to me. I mean, it says psychological harassment. Harassment's harassment. Not a lawyer, and you should not get your medical or your legal advice from me. But I would say that there's got to be some folks that could help out with something like that. If you need a resource, send me a message, and I'll see if I can't put you in contact with somebody if you need it, or whether it's for yourself or for somebody else that you know. Just send me a message, slip into my DMs. You can even call the line or even WhatsApp, the 789-2323, and I'll put you in contact with somebody that could point you in the right direction. So, all right. Look at back. There we go. Sublixin08. Buenas Lesor. Great to see you. Oh, wow. Even Agraganja 10's out there. He says, good morning, Yil Marianas. Walushal. Great to see you guys. Really great to see you guys. All right. So Chris Tomakane, all the way from Pacific Northwest. He's like, what is the 411 with the GOP in the CNMI? All right. So you got to hear the sound right by the microphone. This is what is going on. Now, we did speak with folks with the party. By the way, everybody's talking about this. The meeting over the weekend, and here's what happened. There is not going to be a primary anymore for the gubernatorial race. They haven't made the official out loud announcement yet, but the candidate for the GOP for the governor in the 2026 race is going to be former Governor Ralph Torres. That is what's happening. There is not going to be a primary anymore. That's done. That primary that was scheduled for April is no longer happening. That is confirmed from, trust me, this is not someone close. This is confirmed data, info. The other piece of this is that the conversations between the two folks who were going to be going against each other in the primary, from the conversations we've had, that is water under the bridge. They're doing well. They've had good connections, good conversations, regular conversations, and the other guy is going to be running for something else. But they just haven't made that formal announcement yet, but that is exactly what's happening. So the tandem of BJ and Ed are going to be going up against former Governor Torres and TBD. Question is, who is that TBD? I feel like I don't know when they're going to make that announcement. And I've heard a whole bunch of other names floated. But for me, there's only one. There can only be one. I mean, like, it's like what movie is that called? The Highlander? There can be only one. It's got to be. It's got to be. But there was a real exciting name I heard tossed in there, too. I'm like, well, that guy's not even into politics. Good guy, though. It is a good guy. Yep. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Now, the other piece of this, and by the way, we've reached out for the official stuff within the GOP, so they're just waiting. They have this knocked out, but they're waiting on the requests of some people in-house to talk to some of their supporters first. So that's why I left a couple names out there. Yeah. And then now the other side is, are the Democrats going to field somebody? And that's one of the big topics too. So then that would give you a three-way race if you do, which almost guarantees that you would have a runoff because you need like the 50 plus 1. I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder who that, I mean, if I were a betting man, and I'm not, like I know who I would bet. Chris says there's only one, and that's BJ and Ed. That's 2. Come on. What's up with your math, Chris? I know what you mean. By the way, I just sent out another request to them to get them on the show. I happened to see former Governor Torres on Friday. If you noticed, we had a live coverage on Friday afternoon with Shumi at Areola III, who's a goalkeeper who's recruited for and signed with William Penn University. Governor Torres was there. Former Governor Torres was there. And, we talked to him about getting him on the show. And he said soon. And the soon was about getting, they need to make sure they make their formal announcement and all that stuff. So we want to get him on there. John, what's the latest on Marianas? We don't have anything yet. We're still waiting on a statement. Let me just see. The inbox is still empty from the governor's office. So I'll do a refresh just in case. Nope, still nothing. Todd's update. Did they send it to somewhere else? No. But that's what we got. So we don't have anything new on that one yet. The math ain't mathing, Chris. That's great. One tandem. There you go, Chris. You made up for it. That's it. There was something else funny I thought on there. Oh, Ann Attal says, can Jerry Tan run? Yeah, and he could run by himself. It would be the tandem. I know, it's so stupid. I know. You figure he'd win, but I don't know. It's going to be an interesting political season for sure. And that's what we got. Yeah, I see you. Well, I'll tell you what, that was about what we were going to knock out for today. Other than that, we're just going to be sipping more tea, and we got to save it. We got to go out and get more stuff for you today so that we can bring it back for you tomorrow as well. Let me take a look and see if there's something that you guys should be on the lookout today. Oh, if you remember, did you go to school at William S. Regis, or were you old enough to go to Chalankanoa Elementary School? Well, the folks from William S. Regis, and here, we can put this up on the screen for you. Yeah, sure. One second. So you'll be able to see it as well. And you can scan this as well. There you go. The folks, they're looking for alumni to help them celebrate the 80th year of the school. 80 years of William S. Regis and Chalankanoa Elementary School. Searching for volunteers, former students, teachers, staff, and volunteers who have walked through the halls of our school, featuring the Blue Jays and the Kingfishers throughout the years on the school's official social media sites as we celebrate 80 years of legacy. Scan the QR code and start the survey. We've already posted this on the website, and it should have hit social media this morning also. So this story should be out there. Oh, that's great that you did. Awesome. You're welcome, John. Hey, you're in California. Thanks for watching. Thanks for finding us. Hey, and before, we are going to get out of here in just a little bit. But while we're getting ready to get out of here, just remember, if you haven't already liked and followed us, please do. Follow us here on Facebook. subscribe to us on YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram as well. That would be great. And don't forget our website. Our website is where we have more of the deep dive, full story stuff. So what you're seeing on our social media channels, like you'll see our live broadcasts, like this show, Good Morning Marianas. You'll see our afternoon shows that we have, whether it's Advocacy Amplified with Anna Posse, SIP Happens in the evening, which is a lot of fun, and also Off the Hill with Representative Marissa Flores. When you see our afternoon and evening shows, we have all that stuff going on live. But the website is where you get more of the deep dive stuff. That's where you get your JVAs, your RFPs. Well, we do all of the obituaries and everything. And by the way, obituaries, if you've already got it, if you already have it prepared and done, just send it to us. We'll post it for free. If you need us to make it for you, we will do it. And we're not going to charge you a lot of money to do it. It's like literally just $50, just so that you don't have to worry about it. And the other part is you don't have to worry about scrunching all the names to fit in that tiny little thing. Nope, we'll make it where everybody can read everybody's name without getting a new prescription. Because once it gets online, that's how it is. Akira Sakura, thanks for watching from Texas. Great to see you. Thanks so much. But you're coming in just as we're wrapping up the show. But the good news is that these shows, again, they stay on here forever. Now, Facebook live shows go away after 30 days. But that's why you've got our YouTube channel where they're on there forever. So go ahead and please subscribe to us over there, too. Again, our YouTube channel, NMI News 670. We also started a TikTok, but I haven't done anything with it yet. And but I know we will. So there you go. I got to remember to post stuff over there too. We just started it at the end of last week. All right, so that's what we got. Please like, subscribe, follow, and then even for this video today, if you guys can hit like on the actual post itself. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up and get out of here. I hope you have a great day. It's Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday in the Marianas. You guys are just wrapping up your Monday over there in the mainland, and boy, I'll tell you what. It's going to be a busy week with more stories coming to you that we're going to be out there chasing. We'll be live tonight for SIP Happens. I hope this is a great week for you. No matter how negative things can be with some of these stories in the news, don't worry. That's not. Our Commonwealth is still going to be great. Our Commonwealth is still going to come together. We're just going to talk about this stuff together. We're going to get through all these different issues, case by case, story by story, situation by situation. One of the best parts about living out here is how connected everybody is and how we get through everything together. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a part of this show. Thanks for your comments, likes, all that other stuff. We'll see you guys again soon. So take care. Have a great one. See you, Marianas.